Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel. Peter watches TV, because I watch TV. I love TV. Okay, so this is formally the channel Peter's Reality TV Recaps and Opinions. And I'm still going to talk about reality TV over here, but I switched it to Peter Watches TV because I want to talk about all the TV shows that I watch. I'm currently binge watching The Walking Dead. I'm on season 9, and I am about a fourth of the way through it. Do you guys want to know all the shows that I'm watching currently right now? Okay, let me tell you all of the shows that I am watching. I'm going to get my weekly TV list. Yes, I do keep a list of all the watch shows for this year, all the watch true crime shows of my life, and then also my weekly TV list. My weekly TV list is Vanderpump Rules, which I have not watched because we're going to watch it tonight. The Valley, which I have watched. Survivor and The Amazing Race. I'm watching those tonight. I always watch it the day after they're on. Loot, Vanderpump Villa, and American Horror Story Delicate. Oh no, I just covered that. It's over. Thank God it's over. And then I'm currently binging The Walking Dead, and I am on season 9, and I am on episode 5 out of 16. So I wasn't sure which video I was going to make today. I was going to do a video about The Walking Dead, binge watching that, and my thoughts so far on it. And then I was like, I really wanted to talk about The Valley, because I did a video about The Valley and what I thought. And my thoughts have completely changed about The Valley since I started watching it. I did like a video after I watched one episode of it, and I've been keeping up with it, and I actually really enjoy The Valley. And so that video might be coming tomorrow. I might be doing the Valley video tomorrow. But, you know, there's all this stuff that's going on with Bravo. Now, I just want to tell you, I was so excited to go to BravoCon 2024. So, much to my dismay, there will be no BravoCon 2024. And what's so funny is when they put up the post and the announcement for it and then the emails and everything, I think I should look in here and see did I delete it or do I still have, I get the text messages because I'm signed up for Bravo. Let me look and see where it says something about, where is it at? Something about BravoCon. It's like, are you so excited about BravoCon 2025? And I'm like, are you going to ignore the fact that you guys are just literally skipping a year? Now, I know from behind the scenes from several different people that BravoCon, okay, Bravo signed a 3-year contract with all of the vendors in Las Vegas. I know that as a fact. I've heard that from multiple people, okay, that work in Las Vegas and people that Bravo and things like that. So I know that that is a fact. So the choice to not have BravoCon 2024 is a decision by Bravo. And I have to believe it's very heavily weighted as a decision by Andy Cohen. And I love Andy Cohen, okay? And I know people think he's problematic and whatever, but as a host for all these years for the Housewives and stuff like that, I've really enjoyed watching Andy Cohen. But Andy Cohen right now is involved in so many allegations and people saying this and Leah McSweeney suing him and him suing her back and all this kind of stuff. We've got that, number one, right? Number two, they are recasting, like, literally every Housewives franchise, okay? And so they're getting rid of people here. I'm so tired of it, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. And then it's like, this person's rumored to be on this season. This person's rumored to be on that season. They've started filming. Oh, no, they stopped filming. Now they're starting filming again. A Real Housewives of New Jersey is supposed to be a real shit show. Andy's come out and said, you know, that, what's her name? Melissa Gorga. Why can't I think of her other name? Why can't I just saw it on Instagram. I was just reading about this on Instagram. Hold on just a second. Bravo. Why can't I think of her name? Melissa Gorga and why can I not? Okay. Hold on a second. Teresa, I didn't even look it up, but Teresa and her sister-in-law, Melissa, like, cannot even film together. And Andy's like, this is never going to happen again, which means that either Teresa or Melissa's going to have to go or they're going to have to get along. And then they're recasting, like, every other franchise. The Valley is going to continue filming through the summer, but Vanderpump Rules is taking a hiatus, which means it's a real shit show. And I have some speculation about that. I think it's because, in all honesty, I think they thought this whole season would be about Scandival, and I really think that they thought that Raquel was going to come back, and that would be the next season, and that would boost the ratings again, and that they're going to build it off of Rachel coming back and what that was going to be like. But Rachel didn't want a part of the show, right? And so I think that's what they thought was going to happen. I think it is a long-term plan for Sheena and Brock and Lala to move over to the Valley and get, so I don't know what's going to happen. You know, I was actually, when I was watching Vanderpump Rules last week, which I just have to tell you, I binge watched 10 seasons of that and couldn't get enough of it. This season, it's like dragging me through the mud to get me to watch the show. Like, I am so bored with Vanderpump Rules this season, and I feel like it's the same episode every week, and I'm just so bored of it. And so I'm sitting there watching it last week, and I was like, you know, I always think about these things. Like, if it were me, what would I do? Like, Tom Sandoval has such a bad rap, but I think people are kind of forgiving him now. I would, like, give Tom and Tom their own show and call it Tom and Tom, you know? And, you know, it's interesting to me because I've saved this for this video that I was going to do about, like, recapping all the seasons, but... You know, when Jax left Vanderpump Rules, the argument that he had with Lisa Vanderpump, where he was like, he said something about my show, and she goes, that's the problem, Jax, this isn't your show, this is my show. Well, Lisa, it really isn't. Your name's on the show, you're the executive producer of it, but you're very rarely even on the show anymore, okay? And when you're over in France curating... I love Lisa Vanderpump. But she's over there curating experiences for all of her guests at Chateau Fontainebleau, or whatever it's called, like the hotel in Vegas and Florida. I don't know what that, Rosencrantz or whatever it's called. I don't know what her villa is, but I love that villa so much. But that manager, Eric, oh my God, he is too much, isn't he? But anyway, Vanderpump Villa kind of reminds me a little bit of like Below Deck mixed with Vanderpump Rules in the early days, but very scripted. It feels very scripted to me. But I don't dislike it. I actually like Vanderpump Villa better than I like Vanderpump Rules. It goes for me right now, those three shows. It's like The Valley, Vanderpump Villa, and Vanderpump Rules. Vanderpump Rules is so bad. So Vanderpump Rules is on hiatus. They're not filming this summer, which is when they usually film. And so it's like, they say they're not canceled, but they're not filming this summer. It's like, okay, well, how long are you going to take off? And things like that, right? Which is totally fine by me because I'm so bored of it anyway. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, so Vanderpump Rules is on hiatus. Nobody knows what's going on with that show. The Valley is the only show that's really like the Vanderpump things that's thriving, but they're not even supposedly going to have a reunion, okay? They're recasting every Housewives franchise out there. You know, every franchise is getting like new cast members. So what would they do with BravoCon? Like, they really can't have BravoCon this year because there's no consistency, period, whatsoever. You know, Summer House and Winter House and stuff like that, even they have gone through like these major changes. So there's not like they couldn't really have BravoCon. What are they going to have? I mean, even the panels would be so weird because they fired so many people, right? When you get fired from a show, you get let go from that show, you don't show up to BravoCon. I mean, people have, but it's not a good look, right? And so, you know, it's so weird to me. And the weirdest thing to me is all this discussion over this recasting. Like, I just saw this thing last night. Now people are saying, it was like on some Facebook group, and people are like, oh, Nene Leakes is coming back to Atlanta. And I'm like, oh, girl, seriously? Are they like throwing that again? I would love, I know she's problematic, but I would love nothing more than Nene Leakes to come back to Atlanta, okay? I actually think it's interesting that Candy leaves, and then they get rid of Marlo, which I love Marlo. I'm a Marlo super fan all day long, okay? And they're starting to, and then Portia comes back. Well, of course Portia comes back because Candy's gone, right? Like, that could never have existed on the same show. I miss the old days. Atlanta has always been my favorite franchise. I think it's going to come out, you know, that, I mean, listen, Drew Sidora and Sonya's gone, and all this, I'm so bored of all of them. They do need to recast the whole show. You know, they're talking about Tamar Braxton. Bring Tamar Braxton on there. She makes great television. Make it Tamar Braxton. Make it, Cynthia said she's going to do it no more, but make it Sheree. I think, you know, it's like nobody knows who's going to be on any of these shows. You know, Orange County, they just wrapped. This is the other thing. It's like, okay, so Beverly Hills, they're talking about the possibility that, like, first it was Chelsea Handler was signing on, right? And I was like, first it was like all the Hilton sisters were coming on, you know, like Kathy, not the Hilton sisters, but like Kathy Hilton, and then like Kim Richards and Kyle Richards. It was gonna be the three sisters. Well, Kyle Richards has carried that show. I know when I say that, people will be like, that's such bullshit. Kyle Richards has carried that show for the last 13 years. That's the truth, okay? And so they're talking about that, and they're talking about bringing this person back, and then all of a sudden it's like so weird. It's like Lisa Vanderpump is coming back, but she's coming back as a friend. As a friend to whose? And I think it's so weird too, these rules that Bravo had, but that they don't stick to. Like, for example, Kristen and Jax were fired for racist comments, but then they get their own show. Like, did they sit in timeout long enough? Like, and listen, I'm loving the Valley, okay? But like, did they sit in timeout long enough? How's that rule? You kicked them off of Vanderpump Rules, but then you gave them their own show, right? Okay, and then Nene and Lisa, like, you know, Mary Cosby never even, she fell asleep and didn't show up to a reunion, and she's back filming, making a very offensive statements to Lisa Barlow about her kid and things like that, and she's allowed to be on the show. Why are we keeping her on their show? Because she's good entertainment? Well, yeah, maybe she is, but maybe we need to have some ethics when it comes to these shows, too, and that's one of the things that we've lost. Like, if you're an OG and you've watched these shows for a long time, way, way, way back in the day, or like the Real Housewives of Orange County, it was about women owning their own businesses like Vicki Gunvalson and raising their families. It wasn't always about trips and parties and drinking and offensive comments and all that kind of stuff. That came several years later, right? So we can have these shows of showing women that are starting their own businesses and being independent and being independent thinkers, and they don't have to be a mess. We don't always have to have that. I love that. I think it shows good television. But when the person oversteps their boundaries and they're problematic and they break the rules of Bravo, which is if you don't show up to a reunion, I don't think you should be coming back. I love Nene, but she left a reunion, okay? She sued Bravo. And now Bravo's like forgiving her and whatever. It's like the rules are so weird. And so it's very much to me that they are very ate up just with the views and the money, okay? They done screwed Atlanta so bad. Atlanta was the best franchise, and they done fucked it up and made Salt Lake City the best franchise. Beverly Hills is, okay, now they're saying Chelsea Handler's going to be in Beverly Hills. Lisa Vanderpump is coming back as a friend. A friend of whose? Who is she a friend of on the show? Chelsea Handler's coming on. Chelsea Handler supposedly don't even live in California. She's got a house there, but she doesn't even live there. People are like, I'm not going to watch it if Chelsea Handler is. The bullshit you won't. Yes, you will. You watch it. I've said that before. If so-and-so's on there, I'm not going to watch it. I actually think Chelsea Handler's hilarious. I think Chelsea Handler would give them women a run for their money. But she's not a good fit for the show. Then people are saying that it's not her, it's Meg Ryan. And Meg Ryan's coming on this show. And I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense, kind of. But like, why are we trying to get like a major celebrity name over here on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you know? Like, why don't you just bring back some of the OGs from Beverly Hills that would probably love to be on the show? I'd love to see Faye Resnick back on the show. You know, I'd love to see Camille back on the show. You know, I think Denise Richards is a hot mess, but bring her back on the show for television. You know, I don't think that they need to do this. Yes, Crystal was a bore-ass, okay? Anne Marie, she didn't carry any storyline whatsoever. Get rid of them. I agree with that, right? But a lot of these other women, they carry storylines, you know? Sutton Strack is such a second, I mean, she plays off of whoever is out there. She can be good if you give her good players to play with. She didn't have anybody to play with this season. That's the problem, right? But if you brought back some of those OGs and they used to fight all kinds of stuff, I used to live for all of that back in the day, you know? Bring back, you know, Kim Richards. She made for good TV, too. Bring back Lisa Rinna. I know she don't want to be on the show, but Lisa Rinna, I know she, you know, didn't... First of all, you can't say, well, this person was problematic and that person... They've all been problematic, right? But I am so over this hinting at who's going to be on the cast. Just come out and announcing the cast, okay? Y'all think that the seating chart at the reunion is so exciting, which what I realized was it's no longer who has the biggest presence in the room gets to sit next to Andy, which is what it used to be. It's who is Andy afraid that's going to get the most shit on the show sits next to Andy. That's who he has sits next to Andy now, right? Whoever's going to get the most shit so that he can be sitting there so that he can minimize the arguing. Let it flow. That's what people want to watch. And quit with all this nonsense of rebranding. It worked for New York. I love the new cast in New York, okay? The reality is they should have probably kept it, since New York, the new cast works, reboot the legacy. Whoever from, I mean, I know, listen, Dorinda wants to be on it so bad. You know, Ramona Singer, she's messed up. She's gone, right? But, you know, Dorinda wants to be on it so bad. Luann wants to be on it so bad. Sonia wants to be on it so bad. You know, bring back some of the old people and make it New York Legacy and have that one going. Have the new one going. But why are we doing with this with every franchise? You're messing up the Real Housewives. Are you just trying to kill off the Real Housewives? I mean, are you just trying to kill off the franchise? That's what it seems like. It's so weird to me, you know? And it's like, the whole thing is so weird to me. Of what they're doing with all this kind of stuff. And Lisa Vanderpump, like going to Vanderpump Villas, is very, and wanting to be a friend in the Housewives, is like, okay, that to me is such a red flag that Vanderpump Rules is over. Period. In a story. She's never even on it. She's never even on it. They show her like maybe once every 3 episodes, you know? And so it's like, oh, what's going to be the big, you know, the big finale that Katie and Ariana, well, they haven't even, they filmed this, you know, 3 months ago, and it's going to end on this big catastrophic thing. And then Katie and Ariana just opened their shop this month, which is what they thought they were going to be filming for the next season to promote their shop. So now they opened the sandwich shop, and they're not going to be promoting on the show because they haven't got that. And the thing is, Ariana's got all of her little things that she's booking left and right. Katie Maloney, she don't have anything without Vanderpump Rules, you know? Katie, you better move to the Valley. I'm telling you right now. Or did she already and we don't know. But I'm so bored of this whole stuff. I feel like Bravo is, like, I used to live for all these shows. And I feel like Bravo is just like, they are like killing all these shows. I think, and a lot of people told me, like, I'm not a big Summer House, Winter House person, but people told me that, like, they are fantastic this year. So I might have to go back in there and binge watch those and stuff like that. But listen, give me 1,000-Pound Sisters all day long. This shit is boring. It's boring, okay? It's so boring. And honestly, when I'm sitting here and I've watched every franchise of the Housewives and all this kind of stuff, and I'm telling, well, Miami was fantastic, but they're recasting Miami. People are dropping out. People aren't coming back. They're recasting that. I'm like, why are you, like, I love Miami. Just when you get such a great cast, you recast the whole show because people don't want to come back. You're not appeasing this person, blah, 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 whatever, right? Okay. So, do that, but you're ruining Miami. I love Miami. Miami is probably one of my favorite, like, franchises of the Real Housewives, period, end of story. I love Miami, because I love that city, but I also love all the people on there, you know? I love Miami, and so, they're doing that, and I'm like, give me 1,000-Pound Sisters all day long, okay? Because this other bullshit that you're putting out there, when I'm sitting on video and I'm telling you that The Valley, which I hated after one episode, and now I love, and I like it more than all these other shows, there is something seriously wrong with Bravo, okay? When I'm telling you that my favorite show in Bravo right now is The Valley, like, that's a problem. And no, don't sleep on The Valley. It's good. It actually gets very, very good, okay? But I will tell you this right now, like, and no, 1,000-Pound Sisters isn't on Bravo. I'm fully aware of that, okay? It's on TLC. I wish they would give Miss Amy and Tammy Slayton over there 24 episodes a season, okay? Instead of 8, and ended it after 8, and then we gotta watch 20 episodes of Sandoval trying to make up with all of his friends because he done fucked this girl. I'm so tired of it. I am so tired of this Sandoval thing, okay? It's so boring. And the other thing is this is my thing. Back when I first started watching The Housewives, social media wasn't as prevalent, right? So now we live in real time on social media. I, like, follow these accounts. I can't not follow them, right? But it's like, we see something happen. You know what is today? May 2nd? We see something happen May 2nd of 2024, but it doesn't air until, like, February of 2025. But we already knew that it happened in May of 2024, right? So reality TV is not that exciting, and they don't keep it under wraps, and they don't, any of them follow their NDAs, and all of them have podcasts, and all of them go on each other's podcasts, and all of them go on other people's podcasts, and they're always constantly talking. And for a while, it was good marketing for the show, but now it's oversaturation, and they've ruined the show, okay? You know, they've ruined the shows, is what they've done. Because now everything's out there, so when we're watching it, we're like this. Yeah, I knew about this a year ago. This isn't interesting to me anymore. Everything that's happening on Vanderpump Rules, I knew a year ago. That's why it's not exciting to watch. You know, they shouldn't do any interviews. They shouldn't do any podcasts, any of that kind of stuff. I know they're trying to get their bread and butter, you know, because they're reality stars and they're trying to raise their kids and buy houses in the Valley so that they can move over to the TV show, The Valley. But they shouldn't be doing all this kind of stuff. They're giving everything away. Not even good sound bites. They're just doing full interviews about how they hate this person. And we're like, well, why are we still watching the show then, you know? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.